Here are today's headlines. Overseas Filipino workers with tickets and employment certificates are spared from a ban on OFWs going to Kuwait. The Department of Tourism focuses on foreign convention and exhibition goers to boost tourist arrivals. Authorities suspend trekking and camping activities to Mount Pulag due to a forest fire. And female inmates make a living out of handicrafts and other skills in Iloilo City. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, clarified that overseas Filipino workers with plane tickets for Kuwait and an Overseas Employment Certificate, or OEC, are exempted from the deployment suspension to the host country. Information and Publications Service head Raul Francia added that the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration would no longer process OECs for workers bound for Kuwait. DOLE Secretary Silvestre Bello III signed Administrative Order No. 25 on Friday, suspending the deployment of Filipino workers to the said country. The order, which was effective immediately, was issued in the midst of the deaths of 7 OFWs there. Bello also directed the POEA to stop processing and issuance of OECs to Filipino workers for deployment to Kuwait. The management of the LRT-2 is providing free rides to active troopers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines in appreciation for their service to the country. Here is our report.
Starting Saturday, all troopers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be able to ride the trains of the Light Rail Transit 2 free of charge. AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Lieutenant Colonel Emmanuel Garcia said this is to honor the heroism and sacrifices made by soldiers in safeguarding the country against all forms of security threats. Last December 19, the AFP signed a Memorandum of Agreement with the Light Rail Transit Authority for a partnership giving due recognition to the sacrifices of men in uniform by offering them a free ride on LRT-2 trains. Garcia said the MOA stipulates that all active military personnel, even in civilian attire, are entitled to ride the LRT-2 from Santolan to Recto free of charge upon showing their AFP identification cards as access pass. The MOA was signed by then AFP Civil Relations Service Head Major General Ronnie Evangelista and LRTA Administrator Reynaldo Beroya. It was noted by AFP Chief of Staff General Ray Leonardo Guerrero and approved by Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. Guerrero said the free ride boosts the morale of our troops and gives them more reason to perform better in serving the people and protecting the state. Aside from this partnership, both parties are looking forward to advanced coordination to enable the AFP to provide ambulance and medical teams to assist the LRTA in emergency and crisis situations. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondok.
The military confirmed the release of 2 Indonesians captured by the Abu Sayyaf in Sulu. Released late Friday were La Utu bin Lara Ali and Lahadi Laedi, both skippers of Malaysia-registered fishing boats. The Abu Sayyaf bandit seized the victims on November 5, 2016 between Pegasus Reef and Kuala Kinabatangan near the Turtle Islands in Tawi-Tawi. The military said the 2 Indonesians were taken to the residence of former Sulu Governor Abdusakur Tan Sr. by a concerned citizen in Barangay Asturias, Jolo. They were both brought to the headquarters of Joint Task Force Sulu with the help of Brigadier General Cirilito Sobehana, where they underwent medical examination. The Abu Sayyaf group is still holding 9 people captive that include 3 Indonesians, 1 Vietnamese, 1 Dutch, and 4 Filipinos. Malacanang lauded the retention of the Philippines exporting privileges with the European Union under the Generalized Scheme of Preferences Plus. Here is our report.
Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque announced that the Philippines was able to retain its privileges under the European Union's Generalized Scheme of Preferences Plus. Subject to international conventions, the Philippines under GSP Plus is allowed to export some 6,000 eligible products to EU member states duty-free since December 2014. The 28-member bloc evaluates the country's compliance with the International Labour Organization and United Nations human rights conventions, including the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. In the EU report, Roque said the Philippines was found to have made progress in the areas of labor rights, environmental protection, climate change, and good governance. The report also noted that the Philippines has been signatories to the conventions such as labor, human rights, and environment, among others, even before the GSP+, he added. Roque said the Philippines and EU reached a milestone in terms of trade. In 2017, Philippine exports with the European Union grew by 31%. The total merchandise export amounted to $8.4 billion, making the bloc the country's third largest trading partner. Food and agriculture exports such as animal products, fish and related products, prepared foods and fruits, in addition to automotive parts, leather, textile, and footwear contributed to this growth. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Swedish furniture company IKEA was planning to announce its targeted opening date in the Philippines within this year. IKEA Sustainability and Communication Director Lars Svensson said the company is eyeing the Philippines to open its next store. Svensson said they were highly optimistic about the maturity and the development of the Philippine economy. He said believed it is a place that is ready in terms of capacity and industry that could support IKEA. He, however, said they were concealing further details for the meantime so as to avoid influencing property prices. In an interview on the sidelines of Responsible Business Conference in Makati, Swedish Ambassador Harold Fries said IKEA was planning to open its first Philippine store early 2020. Still to come, the Department of Tourism focuses on foreign convention and exhibition goers to boost tourist arrivals. Authorities suspend trekking and camping activities at Mount Pulag due to a forest fire. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
January 11, Huwebes, Manila Hotel, Juan Rizal Park. Nag-courtesy call kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang mga top executives ng Melco Resorts and Entertainment Corporation na magtatayo ng luxury hotel sa Pilipinas. Sa PAGCOR 2018 kickoff naman ay ipinaalala sa gambling industry na iwasan ang korupsyon at katiwalian.
I thank you for the income that we are earning from the gambling community. Ang akin lang is I want to stress again the point that you can come in, expand, do business peacefully, but please avoid graft and corruption.
January 15, Lunes, Davao City. Saksi ang Pangulo sa turnover ng 26 units na Mitsubishi Patrol Vehicle sa Davao City Police Office. Mula ito sa Japan International Cooperation System. Pinasinayaan din ng Pangulo ang bagong Regional Crime Laboratory Office 11 na isang state-of-the-art crime lab para sa mabilis na forensic service sa buong Mindanao. January 16, Martes, Philippine Air Traffic Management Center, Pasay City. Pinaunahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang launching ng bagong Communications, Navigation, Surveillance and Air Traffic Management Systems. Hinikayat niya ang lahat para sa matibay na ugnayan ng mamamayan at pribadong mga kumpanya.
To the cooperation of our people and our private sector partners, we can soon ease our transportation woes and pave the way for a more industrialized Philippines.
January 17, Miyerkules, Malacanang Palace. Tinanggap ng Pangulo ang credentials ng 3 bagong talagang ambassadors mula South Korea, Tanzania at Serbia. Nakipagpulong siya sa mga miyembro ng Pinnacle Club of ASEAN na binubuo ng retired defense and security chiefs mula Southeast Asia. Nag-courtesy call sa Pangulo si Katsuyuki Kawai, ang Special Advisor for Foreign Affairs ni Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The Department of Tourism is tapping at foreign exhibition and convention goers as a market to boost tourism in the country by the year 2030. Here is our report.
The Department of Tourism said the country's 2018 target of 7.5 million foreign tourists is an inch closer with the development of the MICE, or Meetings, Incentives, Conventions, and Exhibitions Roadmap 2030. Estimates of MICE visitors in the Philippines showed an 8% share in its total tourist arrivals. The roadmap seeks a 3% increase for MICE arrivals annually. Tourism Secretary Juan Tulfo Teo said that the country's successful hosting of the 2015 APEC and the 2017 ASEAN Summits proved that the government is on the right track in further developing the Philippines as a top MICE destination. However, Teo said there is much to be done to achieve the 2030 goal of putting the Philippines among the top 10 ranked in the ICCA, or International Congress and Conventions Associations, in Asia Pacific and the Middle East. Apart from the improvement of cooperation between the public and private sector, tasks include the development of infrastructure or logistics to help ease in doing business. The roadmap's target includes increasing MICE revenues from 4.6 billion in 2016 to 24.8 billion by 2030. It also aims to level the total number of usable space for exhibitions higher from 70,895 square meters in 2017 to at least 100,000 square meters by 2030. The country used to rank 8th worldwide and first in Asia in the annual listing of World Conventions destinations in 1982. In 2016, Philippine MICE placed 48 in 116 countries worldwide and 14th among 35 countries in the Asia Pacific and Middle East in terms of having the most number of meetings. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Joyce Ann Edro Camora.
Presidential spokesman Harry Roque said that the Duterte administration recognized the autonomy of the province of Aklan and its Malay town in sustaining stewardship in Boracay. In a Kalibo version of the Malacanang press briefing, Roque said that the palace did not have plans to control the island of Boracay to fix its existing issues. He explained that President Duterte's support for federalism means empowering the local government. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Department of Tourism initially recommended that an executive order should soon be released by President Duterte. Roque assured the Tourism Infrastructure Economic Zone Authority of the DOT has already approved the 1.16 billion peso drainage project for Boracay. The drainage project is being eyed to address flooding problems in Boracay. Aklan Representative Carlito Marquez said business residents and tourists in Boracay might still suffer from flooding. He, however, agreed that the problem would still have a lasting solution when the drainage project is completed. Palay production in the country recovered and went up from its loss in 2016 following an increase in harvests in rice-producing regions. Here is our report.
The Philippine Statistics Authority reported that palay or unmilled rice production from October to December rebounded in 2017 from its negative 3.62% growth in 2016. Last year's production volume grew 4.37% to 7.32 million metric tons, exceeding 2016 7.01 million metric tons, which was lower than the output in 2015. The PSA attributed the growth in 2017 to the increase in areas harvested in the Cordillera Administrative Region, Cagayan Valley, Bicol, and Central Visayas due to sufficient water supply during the cropping period and recovery from damages caused by the series of typhoons in 2016. It also cited the use of high-yielding varieties and favorable weather conditions in most regions. Growth in palay production volume contributed to the crop subsector's 2.66% increase during the October to December 2017 period. The subsector accounted for 51.2% of total agricultural production, the PSA said. Meanwhile, the average farm gate price of palay from October to December 2017 grew further at a rate exceeding the crop subsector's 4.28% average price gain during the same period in 2016. The PSA said this was influenced by higher buying price from traders who were anticipating an increase in the market price of rice because of the diminishing inventory in National Food Authority depositories. The PSA said last year's farm gate price of palay also exceeded the grain's 2015 average of 16 pesos and 60 centavos per kilogram. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Josel Danganan.
The management of Mount Pulag in Bocod, Benguet ordered an indefinite suspension of all activities at the country's second highest peak due to a recent forest fire. The Office of Civil Defense Cordillera on Saturday stated that hikes and treks at Mount Pulag are closed due to the occurrence of forest fire affecting all campsites and peaks at the grassland. The OCD said all tourists and visitors who were already at the mountain were made to go to the ranger station in Babadak for safety. Those scheduled for trekking were also made to stay. Visitors who will be coming in the next days will be restricted to enter and will be directed to the 4 lakes located at Kabayan Town. Authorities said there were no hikers or visitors stranded at the mountain. Investigation showed that the fire started from a butane gas stove brought by a hiker. PHIVOLCS mapped out several fault lines in Davao Oriental as it urged residents to exercise caution against the effects of earthquakes. Here is our report.
Geologists from the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology placed markers in several fault lines in Davao Oriental, which reportedly are sitting on top of the Philippine fault line. The areas transected by fault lines included portion of Barangays Marayag, Calapagan, and Don Marcelino in Lupon, and portions of Barangays Tagibo, Science, and Central in Mati. This was based on the 3-day walk to fault by PHIVOLCS geologists led by Jeffrey Perez. Based on the PHIVOLCS findings, Provincial Information Officer Karen Lu de Luso said the fault line in Davao Oriental is connected to the Philippine fault line that stretches up to 1,200 kilometers from Luzon to Mindanao. PHIVOLCS noted the 320 kilometers of which is located in eastern Mindanao, stretching from Surigao to Mati. De Luso said the PHIVOLCS team put markers which should guide local leaders, especially in the barangays, to inform residents on the need to take precautions and preparations. PHIVOLCS encouraged residents to keep safe from the hazards of earthquake, which include ground shaking, landslides, and tsunami. Governor Nelson Dayanghirang underlined the activity as something to promote awareness and safety when disaster strikes. Areas in fault lines are considered danger zones and classified as no-build zone areas. Structures built in faults should be built 5 meters from the fault line on both sides. Experts said the Philippine fault zone divides the country from Luzon to southern Mindanao, with its tail end located in Mati, Davao Oriental. It is in the path of the Ring of Fire, a 40,000-kilometer horseshoe-shaped continuous area in the basin of the Pacific Ocean where a large number of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lilian Meliehor.
Up next, about 13,000 migratory birds are recorded visiting Bataan in a single day. Female inmates make a living out of handicrafts and other skills in Iloilo City. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Very unsettling kasi sa akin yan after making that passionate and solemn promise that everything sa airport, lalo na sa maliit na tao. That is why we are here, and I am here also in front of you because of my promise, whatever be the motivations, so either political or pretended sentiment, but I want this small guy protected. Itong nangyari kahapon, I would demand that there will be justice instant. Kung sino yung service provider dyan, you terminate the contract and look for another one. and so for the other airports in the country. We do not want it repeated ever again. Mahala na yung sabihin na nag-import kayo ng tractor dyan. I could even just look the other way around. The next time, if it happens, I will fire you. Sigurado eh. Basta may nangyari pa ulit, na maski na kung ano, I will fire you. And kung sa customs aid, you might want to be strict. So I deeply apologize. We will pay whatever you lost. They continue to do it unless you put a stop to it. And I would not hesitate to take you out.
The Asian Waterbird Census recorded that some 13,065 migratory birds were present in one day in wetlands in this Balanga City, Bataan. There was a slight decrease from the record of 15,075 birds on January 22, 2017. Representatives of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, Department of Tourism, and the Wild Bird Club made the count on the seaside barangays Lote, Sibacan, Puerto Rivas Ibaba, Puerto Rivas Itaas, and Tortugas. The water bird census is simultaneously held in various birdwatching sites every January. It is an international endeavor of scientists to monitor the population of water birds in Asia. The bird count started in Balanga City in 2009. Based on the latest report, there are 63 species of migratory birds, mostly small, medium, and large egrets, whiskered terns, and black-winged stilts frequenting Balanga. The birds arrive in the city's wetlands starting September to escape the harsh cold winter days in mainland Asia and Europe, and then return to their countries of origin in March. Edison Camatis Beruela twice scored a knockdown en route to a sixth-round KO against Thiranan Matsali of Thailand to capture the vacant WBC Asian Boxing Council bantamweight title in Pathum Thani, Thailand. The 34-year-old Beruela first downed Matsali in round 3 before he finally pummeled to submission the crowd favorite Thai in the 6th round. This is the first loss of Matsali, a former IBF Pan-Pacific and WBC Asian Boxing Council silver bantamweight champion. Beruela improved his record to 16 wins against 37 losses and 8 draws. He recovered from a series of losses since 2011, the most recent of which was a unanimous decision against PABA Super Bantamweight champion Anurag Tisa last August 31. Brazil World Cup winner and two-time FIFA World Player of the Year Ronaldinho has officially retired from football more than 2 years after playing his last competitive match. The 37-year-old's brother and agent Roberto Assis confirmed the decision, saying Ronaldinho hasn't played for a long time. Assis added that a series of tribute matches were being planned to allow fans around the world to bid farewell to the former playmaker. He said they will stage several events in Brazil, Europe, and Asia, and another enemy with the Brazilian team as well. Ronaldinho had been without a club since parting ways with Rio de Janeiro side Fluminense in September 2015. He has since played in several exhibition matches around the world, including appearances for Barcelona's Legends team. Ronaldinho was voted FIFA World Player of the Year in 2004 and 2005 and was a member of Brazil's triumphant 2002 World Cup team. Female inmates in Iloilo City are earning money even while in jail after joining entrepreneurship projects supported by government agencies. Here is our report.
Boredom never sets in inside the cramped female dormitory of the BJMP Iloilo City District Jail as they keep themselves busy with various income-generating activities. Jail Warden Chief Inspector Aimilo Perez said that inmates were equipped with skills which they could use to make a living once they get out of jail. Majority of the inmates are into making beads while others are sewers, manicurists, and masseurs. Every week, inmates order some 35 kilos of beads from Manila to be made into bags, coin purses, ID holders, and headbands. Their earnings range from 17,000 pesos to 35,000 pesos per month. While their main markets are visitors and schools, their products are regularly displayed at the Tinukib showroom and during trade fairs in the city. Some products are also being sold abroad. Luperas said they are coordinating with the Department of Trade and Industry for assistance on how to further package their products. In addition to beads making, 25 of the inmates passed the assessment of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESTA as masseuse. Luperas said that it would be difficult to form them into a cooperative since they were on trial, but they are members of the Social Security System or SSS through the Alcan Shop program. She said that some of the released inmates were able to avail of loans from SSS. The dormitory is situated inside the compound of the Camp Achilles Plagata along General Luna Street of this city. It caters to more than 200 inmates. 91% are facing drug-related cases. Others are charged with theft, estafa, illegal recruitment, and accessory to murder, among others. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, has raised alert level 4 over Mayon volcano. PHIVOLCS said Mayon spewed a giant ash column, followed by pyroclastic flow around 12:40 Monday noon. Authorities have implemented the extended 8-kilometer danger zone around Mayon, and all aircraft are barred from flying near the summit. Ashfall causing zero visibility was reported in Ligao City, Kamalig, and again in Ginubatan. Residents are advised to be vigilant, stay indoors, and wear protective masks. Classes in all levels in Albay have also been suspended. Scientists previously reported a fountaining of lava about 500 meters high at 10:45 Sunday evening. Lava flow was also spotted along with an ash plume that caused ashfall at Owas and Ginubatan towns. PHIVOLCS said Mayon's latest activity may lead to a hazardous explosion that may occur within a few hours or days. Meanwhile, local officials reported more than 10,000 families affected by Mayon as of Sunday. Over 7,000 families are being served inside and outside evacuation centers. Mayon has so far affected 39 barangays in Ligao City, Tabaco City, Ginubatan, Daraga, Santo Domingo, Kamalig, Manilipot, and Legazpi City. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Here's another look at today's headlines. Overseas Filipino workers with tickets and employment certificates are spared from a ban on OFWs going to Kuwait. The Department of Tourism focuses on foreign convention and exhibition goers to boost tourist arrivals. Authorities suspend trekking and camping activities at Mount Pulag due to a forest fire. And female inmates make a living out of handicrafts and other skills in Iloilo City. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government, and that's all it is doing for the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the hottest news and the latest information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm William Theo. Good day.